Democratic Assistant Whip Congresswoman Veronica Escobar of Texas. Her district includes the Walmart where Saturday's mass shooting took place. In fact, is the very same one her family often goes to. And Congresswoman Escobar, the president is tweeting about the shootings and pairing to be done with immigration reform. So once again, sort of sending out signals, even at this very difficult time. What's your response to that first?
You know, I first want to say, Mika, that I live in an extraordinary community. People have come together like never before. People are wrapping their arms around one another. We had 2 beautiful vigils last night. We are the epitome of goodness as a community. We welcome the stranger. We take care of the vulnerable. And that is who El Paso is. And I'm so proud to be a member of this community. Words have consequences. And the president has made my community and my people the enemy. He has told the country that we are people to be feared, people to be hated. He has done that at his rallies. He has done that through his Twitter. I heard earlier someone mention that he may be coming here. I hope that he has the self-awareness to understand that we are in pain and we are mourning and we are doing our very best in our typical, beautiful, graceful El Paso way to continue to be resilient. And so I would ask his staff and his team to consider the fact that his words and his actions have played a role in this.
Congresswoman, all across America, parents and their little children are going to Walmarts and going to other local places to get supplies to go back to school. It's a rite of passage that we've all done, that we all do, except in your district this weekend, little children and their mothers and their family members were gunned down and killed because a white nationalist was inspired by the language of politicians and some of the things that he saw on TV and some of the things that he saw online. Obviously, we've shown clips of the President of the United States laughing when he's talking about the invasion of Hispanics, and somebody in the crowd says, "Shoot them," and he laughs and makes a joke about it, and the whole crowd starts laughing time and time again. If you could, tell me about some of your constituents. Tell me about some of the people in your district who were shot and killed simply because they went out to get school supplies to go back to school in a few weeks, and unfortunately found themselves in the crossfire inspired by political hate.
Joe, there were some incredible acts of heroism, among those a young mother and a young father who used their bodies as a shield to protect their infant child. Both of those beautiful lives are gone. The infant is alive, but is now an orphan. There were kids who were having a fundraiser for their soccer team outside of the Walmart, raising money for their team with their parents and their teammates and their coach. And when the shooter approached, they ran inside to hide in the bakery. One of their mothers told me that the shooter went inside after them and yelled, "Where are you?" looking for those kids. There are stories about elderly couples who were at the checkout. One elderly gentleman paying while his wife waited on a bench while he paid for their groceries. As the gunman ran in, the wife was escorted to the back hurriedly. People were being shuffled to safety. Her husband didn't make it, and she has to live with that survivor's guilt. All of this has happened because Hispanic people have been dehumanized. They have been dehumanized by the president, by his enablers, by other politicians. This is one of the lowest points in American history. And if we don't recognize this as such, we will not have the turning point that we so desperately need as a country.
Congresswoman Escobar, you have aptly and accurately described the president's participation in what happened this weekend, his ongoing participation during his presidency in what built up and led to this weekend. I would like to get your reaction to a tweet that he just issued. This is Donald J. Trump, President of the United States, 2 minutes ago, with this tweet. The media has a big responsibility to life and safety in our country. Fake news has contributed greatly to the anger and rage that has built up over many years. News coverage has got to start being fair, balanced, and unbiased, or these terrible problems will only get worse. That's from the President of the United States. What's your reaction to that?
It is shocking to me that he is so utterly self-aware. And this is why, from my perspective, he is not welcome here. He should not come here while we are in mourning. This is one of the sites of one of his rallies. I heard Mika earlier mention that violence increased. Statistically, violence went up, hate crimes went up in communities where he had held rallies. He came into one of the safest communities in the nation. And as a result, or maybe not as a result, that is probably unfair. But months later, a gunman came into our community. Someone from outside of this community came into this beautiful, tranquil, loving place to do us harm. I would encourage the president's staff members to have him do a little self-reflection. I would encourage them to show him his own words and his actions at the rallies, because we're not going to get past this until there is acknowledgement from the very top that we need to heal, that this whole country is hurting, that there has been bigotry and racism and hatred that has been stoked at all levels. And as the president, he has the most significant authority and responsibility to show this country, to lead this country into healing. And now is the time, and he needs to accept responsibility, everyone does, for what has gotten us to this point.
So since the president said, tried to blame his hatred on the, quote, fake news, why don't we just take him at his own word? And let's play the clip. Let's play the clip again where he laughs and he keeps talking about the invasion of Hispanics. Alex, play the clip where he laughs when somebody says that Hispanics should be shot.
This is an invasion. When you see these caravans starting out with 20,000 people, that's an invasion. I was badly criticized for using the word invasion. It's an invasion. But how do you stop these people? You can't. There's no... That's only in the panhandle you can get away with that statement.